for tuning in to Hacks and Hobbies with your host, Junaid. In Season 2 of Hacks and Hobbies, we're visited by our amazing guests coming from all walks of life. We want to learn their story, their struggles, and their journey on how they got to where they are today. So stick around.
Today, we have Ariel Margolis. He's the CEO and founder of E-Learning Solved. I met him through several other connections, got to work together in creating a e-learning platform for one of our mutual friends. And today I have the opportunity to speak with him and learn his story. Ariel, welcome to Hacks and Hobbies. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Junaid. Glad to be here.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about how you came up with the e-learning solved and, what's your story?
Sure. So I started off as a teacher about a little over 20 years ago as a result of my not being accepted into medical school. And I was able to secure a job as basically a support aide in a classroom, and I fell in love with it. I decided not to pursue medicine, and I decided to go after education. So I sought my certifications and my master's degree. So I became a teacher in middle school. I was a middle school principal for 6 years and returned to the classroom. I was also a special education teacher. I also, 4 years ago, I left that and became a professor, training teachers how to become special education teachers. So for over 20 years, I've been in, quote unquote, the system and in different roles, also as a parent. And I decided, or my mission was always to change the way education works, it's not effective. The current system is not effective. And I'm not just talking about the traditional K-12 or higher education. I'm talking about professional development, job training. All of that is based on an archaic system that's from the 1930s and 40s with the assembly line and the Industrial Revolution, that everyone has to learn the exact same thing at the exact same time, and this is how we have to do it. And that's just not the way we learn. So I got frustrated, and I thought that having these different hats would allow me to make an impact, and it did, but not to the same degree that I can change the entire mechanism or the entire machine, if you will. So I decided to go out on my own and create E-Learning Solved, which is designing e-learning experiences that's effective as online marketing and as exciting as kindergarten. And hopefully we'll be able to make, substantial change in the world in how education is done.
Absolutely. No, that's amazing because, and I've seen the same story over and over. The school system is designed to create workers. They train you from the get-go that you got to stay in this one place for 8 hours. It starts with 5 hours, then it goes to 6 hours, and then 7 hours, and now it's like, oh, we give you a lunch in the middle, and now you could do another 4 hours. A whole 9 hours out of you.
That's right.
Spending in the same place, staring at the screen. I mean, nothing wrong with staring at screens. We do that regardless of if we're working or not.
True, very true, and it's all how we use it. What tools are learning, and I'm not saying that everything in school systems are broken, but and when you talk to individual teachers and principals, deep down, most of them don't want to teach or run the schools the way that they're doing it, but they feel they have no choice. There's like this overarching foreman, if you will, that's watching over the factory, making sure that, well, we have to do it this way because this is how we've always done it. And if we don't do it this way, then kids won't be prepared. But we know that's not true. And in fact, the millennial generation has demonstrated that. They're saying we're not doing it this way. We don't need to do it this way. And they're being very successful.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, it's a game changer. And I think that's the generation that's going to really have an impact on how education's going to basically embrace what they are so passionate, what they believe in, which is you should be able to study what you are interested in, what drives you, and choose your own path. And yes, you still need to learn how to learn. You need to learn how to learn, so that way you can acquire the information and skill sets that you need.
Yeah, no, that's so very true. And interesting point that you mentioned, right? So in the school system, they have the headmaster or the principal who's watching over is everybody, performing their duties like they're supposed to, similar to in a factory. And actually, one of my cousins, he is a principal for a school. And I talked to him, he's like, dude, it's the worst job ever. Because I'm never in front of a computer. I'm always talking to people. There's everybody just wants a little minute of my time. Parents, teachers, students. And it's crazy. I'm like, wow. Didn't think of that at all.
Yeah, it's a very demanding job, and any position in education is a demanding job, and it's undervalued. I think that every teacher and principal is underpaid tremendously. I don't care if you're working only 10 months a year. It's undervalued, and yet combine that with the broken system, it's a losing battle. You're treading water. Your cousin is treading water, just to stay afloat. So it has to change.
It does. And looks like that your e-learning platform has created a way that is where the future lies. I mean, if I look at the future or look at the past, Khan Academy, and you probably know of this, right? He just recorded a video because he wanted to help his cousin or help his nephew with some math problem. And he's like, oh, I don't have the time to actually do it live. Why don't I just record a YouTube video and he can just go watch it? And one time he was like, oh, I have the time today. I'm going to teach him. And the kid was like, no, make the video. I'd rather do with the video, pausing and then going back than asking you questions in live, because your time is limited and I'm used to this new way of learning from you.
Yes.
So, right?
Yes, and I think that was revolutionary in Salman Khan's was revolutionary in that we have the technology to teach students that are either need a specific subject or skill set taught, or something that they're interested in, and can access it anywhere, right? Versus having to be in the classroom. So that was revolutionary. That was the spark of, oh, we don't have to do it the way we've been doing it. So that was a huge advancement in education. I think we still have ways to go, because what's happening now is that teachers are now using it in the classroom versus assigning it outside the classroom. So watch this video and then go home and do your homework for 20 minutes versus watch the video at home, come into class, let's review, let's discuss, and then let's apply it, right? Let's figure out what we can do with it.
Yeah, that way you're actually engaging the mind of the youngins.
Yes.
And they're individually they're learning, but then in a group setting they're discussing and having debate and having conversation around those things. That's a really nice idea.
Exactly. And you can do that outside of school as well. You could have, with technology today, you could have the kids all go on at 5:00 or whatever with the teacher for 45 minutes and watch the news, or if there's an event that's happening that's related to what they're studying. If there's a volcanic eruption or whatever that's occurring and there's going to be a report in the afternoon, let's all go on and look and watch, right? And teachers are afraid to say, this is what we're going to do. And they use the excuse, well, not everyone's going to do it. Kids are not going to get on and then they're going to get lost. Mm-hmm. And I think that, number one, if it's set at the beginning, if the priorities are clear that, this is going to be some of the expectations, parents will get on board with it.
Absolutely.
And you'll always have kids that won't do it.
Mm-hmm. And it's always going to be a situation.
Right? You're always going to have kids that just, for whatever the reason is, and it's a variety of reasons, they're not going to do it. So that should not prevent you from experimenting with it, or having it be able to see what they can actually learn. That every single moment in life is a learning opportunity. It's really what it is. And doing worksheets or taking tests and memorizing facts are just not what's necessary anymore.
No, because nobody uses those facts anymore. Everybody's got access to a smartphone, access to Google, Dr. Google there.
Exactly.
So you could look it up.
You can look it up, right? And it's that skill of looking things up, right? That's something that teachers, for the most part, are not teaching, because they don't necessarily have the dictionaries in the classroom anymore. No. So you can't look it up, right? And they're giving the information because either they don't allow the technology in the classroom, or there's not enough technology to go around.
Yeah.
And so you're not teaching the skill set of Google it. Both my wife and I had to teach our kids how to do that. And that's our number one line. Like when they say, how do you do it? Like, Google it. Ask Alexa, ask Google.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So recently I read a news where Google was providing Google Chromebooks to kids or will be in upcoming months. So the news article was, no more snow days because kids can do homework at home.
That's right.
It's a curse, but it's also a gift, right?
Absolutely.
You could stay home and do your homework. And if you do your homework fast enough, you could spend additional time doing fun stuff that you want to do.
Exactly.
Right?
There's no, the amount of work that's being assigned in those situations, maybe an hour and a half. It shouldn't be more than that, frankly. They should not be sitting in front of a computer on a snow day for 8 hours.
No.
But if they're doing an hour and a half worth of quality work, then they can enjoy the rest of the day, which also says, my son had that. He goes to a vocational school where they tested out the system. They had a pretend snow day, and he had to log on by 8:00 in the morning, and he had to finish the work by noon, and he was done by 11. Yeah. And I said to him, you got basically 6 hours of school done in 2 hours.
Yes. No distraction. Totally focused, bite-sized information. You learn something. And it's 2 hours. I said, now you got the rest of the day. Go explore. Go do stuff. Yeah.
So, but that also tells you something about the efficiency of the school system. That
Yeah.
if you can get all the work done in 2 hours at home, but it takes 8 hours or 7 hours of school during the day, and I know there's also socializing and hanging out, and I'm not discrediting that. I think that's important.
No, absolutely.
But the quality, right? How the efficiency of the time is not being utilized well.
Yes.
Spend 20 minutes on learning a concept and then go apply it. Go outside. Go on a virtual tour of the Smithsonian's. Go explore Egypt if you're studying ancient civilizations. You can do that now. We couldn't before. You and I grew up with textbooks.
Yes.
Right? And if we were lucky, they were color pictures.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
And yeah, absolutely. And now they even have virtual reality.
Yes.
Which is even like you want to go to Mars? Here you go. There's an app. There's an application. You can go visit the Mars site where rover is roving around.
Exactly.
You can visit with Buzz Aldrin where they landed on the moon.
Yep. Absolutely.
And talking. It's all possible now.
It's all possible. And you can talk to the experts. You can reach out to the scientists at NASA and and ask questions about the Mars rover, or you can find experts and be able to talk to them about space exploration, or the latest discoveries in Egypt or Greece, or the political issues that are going on right now in England. You can ask people. You can hear from experts. Again, that's something that we couldn't do because technology didn't allow it. It wasn't available.
Exactly.
I'm 44 years old. I don't know how old you are, but I'm 44. So
I'm about the same, 42.
42. Okay, so if you ever had a call overseas, I remember this growing up as a kid in Boston. We had a family in Israel, and you had to reserve like 2 weeks in advance with the phone company the day and time you were going to call.
Wow, they're going to fly somebody out there.
Right? Because the cables had limited bandwidth.
Yeah.
Right? So you had to wait and set the time to call. And now you can go on WhatsApp, Skype, whatever for free anytime.
Anytime.
Right? So it's amazing.
Hello, Hacks and Hobbies listeners. Are you looking to share your opinions, give me feedback, or tell me what you're thinking? Send me a voice message. Voice messages are an easy way for you to send me audio that might end up in future episodes of Hacks and Hobbies. They're the latest feature from Anchor, the platform I use to make this podcast. Here are some of the things I would love to hear from you. Are you enjoying the direction the podcast has taken for Season 2? Is there someone I can interview that will absolutely help you gain more knowledge? What do you think of the different topics that I talk about on the podcast with my guests? You can send me a voice message right now from wherever you're listening. Just tap the link in my show notes. I can't wait to hear from you.
It's amazing. And that's where the frustration comes into play. It's like, you got all this knowledge available at your fingertips and ability to learn.
Yes.
So go do it. Like, put that textbook down.
Yeah.
Just put it down and focus on who's in front of you and what they're interested in, and they'll get the skill sets. That's your job as a teacher, to teach them the skill sets. But it doesn't have to be through the textbook.
No. Well, we'll certainly try to solve that problem.
I sure hope so.
In our lifetime. Because I see so many systems. I mean, with the beginning, Khan Academy, then we had lynda.com.
Yep.
I learned so much tech stuff and learning how to use software, learning how to shoot my camera, all through lynda.com.
Mm-hmm.
And LinkedIn made a really nice move of purchasing lynda.com, because now all of that stuff is accessible for anybody on LinkedIn. The other thing, there's Udemy. Udemy has
Yes.
risen to popularity in the past few years. I learned about another platform called Teachable, and there's of course Coursera.org, where every single university has a course on there,
Yes.
and it's just crazy, awesome.
It
what we can
right.
do.
It's amazing, and you know your the video, the 30-day video challenge that you took with Rob Howes, and you were showing us all these different features on video capturing with your phone, right?
Yeah.
And that was, you took that from your own experience, you took that from what you learned in Linda and all these other courses, and you shared it,
Mm,
right? So you
yeah,
became the expert, you became the educator,
exactly.
and taught people that were, again, interested in learning how to do it,
Mm-hmm.
right? No one
You
is
have to have that.
forced to do it,
No.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
you get people that are totally engaged with it, and then it's spreading word of mouth saying, "Hey, look at this cool feature that could be done." So you did the coming from the future, looking like
Yeah.
a hologram, and then I think Rob did it 3 days
Yep.
ago.
Yep. He recently got the iPhone XR 10R, and that's so you need to have the iPhone 10, 10R, 10s to be able to do that with your phone. So it's a Apple only, it's an Apple device, Apple app
Yeah.
that combines this. And I know another way I can play with it. I haven't tried it yet, but I know some other ways to play with that. But that'll be interesting to show and share. I've shot a lot more videos that haven't gone up yet. So, and then that's the other thing that I'm working on. Well, I haven't started, but I'm thinking in my mind what different techniques I can put together in a small course. And when I learned about teachable.com, I was like, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty straightforward and what you can do. And last year, actually, I signed up with, or maybe 2 years ago, I signed up with Udemy. I'm like, I'm going to create my own course on using Sketch for user experience design. But again, you need time. You need time to sit down and create these courses, or create the videos and the whole curriculum and syllabus. And
Yes.
I don't have the expertise in that area.
Yes. Um, it does take time.
Mm-hmm.
There are the biggest, though I would say the most important piece is to ask, like, what are your essential questions? What are the goals?
Yes.
And then figuring out who your audience is,
Mm-hmm.
and shooting the videos and getting the other content or skill sets. I think that's there's no especially for educational purposes. If it's public on YouTube, you can use it. There's no need to
Mm-hmm.
recreate the wheel.
Yeah.
So a combination of ready-made pieces, and then also making sure that the call to actions are engaging isn't the right word. I would say they're relevant.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
Yeah.
teaching how to do X, then the activities should reflect that.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be busy work. It shouldn't be, send me your picture and tweet it
Yeah.
out. That's not going to be relevant for people.
No.
That's, but show me what you can do, and getting feedback from the expert, right? So getting
Mm-hmm.
feedback from you
Mm-hmm.
is one of the highest values that consumers want. They want to get the feedback because they want to improve. They want to get
Yeah.
the accolade because they said, "Yeah, you got it," or they want to hear, "Actually, I think you could. I think it would be better if you did X, Y, or Z. Or have you tried X, Y, and Z?"
Yeah.
And hearing that from an expert, and even though you know there are people that would claim to be experts. Because they're in your course, you are the expert. You're the facilitator.
That's right.
So they're getting a unique perspective because it's from you, and that's what makes it. That's what makes it unique. That's what makes it different from all the other courses.
Yeah, that's so true. You're absolutely right. And I'm signed up on a ton of courses on Udemy, and I watch these instructors, and I'm like, all right, this guy knows a thing or two about it because he created the course. He spent the time to talk about this stuff. So he clearly knows what he's talking about. And I think when you do create a course, when I do end up creating a course, people will look at me in the same light.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this guy spent the time. He obviously did the research to bring this material together so we can learn.
That's right. That's right. And it's you're providing value. That's really what it is. You're providing the value, and whether you use that course as a channel or a funnel to get clients, or you use it also or separately as to have a side income. Either way, people are going to get value. Right? Yes. That's what it is. That's what am I going to walk away with? And that's really that's all what education is. That's why I think, videographers and photographers are excellent educators, because if they can evoke a feeling, then that's teaching.
That is,
right? You evoked a response. That's teaching. If marketers are ideal educators, because in 30 seconds, they can evoke a feeling and a call to action. So if they get you to buy that hot dog, or, check out your life insurance policy, or whatever it is, then they've done their job.
Yeah.
Right? That's what, and there's no reason why education, teachers can't do the same thing. Right? You got to make it relevant. You got to make it of value, and you got to make it interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, this is very eye-opening, and I mean, hearing it from another perspective, especially who's an expert and been in the field for over 2 decades. It's what's that word? It's reassuring.
Good. Well, it's very glad to hear that. I just I think that it's been happening for a long time. I think there's a growing sense that things do need to change. I don't think people know how to do it. I think people are scared to do it.
Oh yeah.
I think they're terrified. I actually heard an interesting reason as to why we're not changing as quickly as we can, is because we need the workers, right? We need people to not ask questions, and to press the buttons, and to fall in line, and to and I think people will do that if that's what they want to do.
Yes.
There's no, if you're interested in serving your community, you can serve your community as a policeman. You can serve your community as a garbage woman. You can serve your community as an arborist, whatever it is, right? It's all in how you frame it and how you see that. If it wasn't for me, the community would suffer. That's how I see, each individual, right?
Yeah.
We get the garbage guy that comes out each week. If he didn't come, then our trash would be or would be all over the street.
Oh yeah.
Right. So if not for him, our community would be trash.
That's right.
Right. So
we need. I mean, everybody will do what they love to do.
That's right.
At the end.
That's right. And there's no shame in it. It used to be that was considered, a negative thing to do, right? That, At least when I was growing up, like, and growing up in a Jewish household, like, you had to go to college and you had to go to graduate school.
Yeah.
And you got to get a good profession, a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, something, right? Selling a business.
Yes.
Right. And that's, and many people grew up that way. And now looking back, like, I wish I had gone to a vocational school like my son's going to. I wish I was able to explore. I would have done so many different things, and have those options.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. So one of the reasons why our parents want us to do those jobs, like be a doctor, be an engineer, be a lawyer, is because they didn't have the opportunity.
Correct.
So that's one of the reasons. And I think it was Malcolm Gladwell talking about this in his book Outliers, and why there's so many Jewish people in the attorney space.
Yep.
It's because they when they migrated, they were doing different jobs where either they're shoe building or work that required hard labor. Right? So they worked hard so that their kids go to a better school.
Right.
So now it's coming around where, okay, we've achieved all of those things. Now we need to go into more different areas. And that's where our generation looks into. It's like, okay, we've achieved all of these accolades and things in the past. Can I look to do something that I'm more passionate about?
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Absolutely. And you're absolutely right. Like, my grandparents, like, you're going to, told my parents, you're going to go to college, and you're going to do X, Y.
Yeah.
You've got to get into Harvard because we don't, you have the option now, so you got to do it.
Exactly.
Right? Whereas now, like, we've made it, right? We made it. Exactly. So we can now do what we want to do, right? There's that, going back to that Gilded Age of, you want to be an artist, go study to be an artist.
Yeah.
That's, that's awesome. You got to first learn what it means to be an artist, and
exactly.
Just drawing a scribble doesn't even make $1,000.
Yes.
but if you're passionate about it, great, go after it.
Yeah. Yes. That's so strong. Wow. There's one more thing I was trying to remember, but yeah, teaching. So I mean, after doing those videos and had the inclination of teaching for a while, right? So anytime somebody comes up to me, it's like, hey, how do I do this? How do I, make this graphic or a logo or a web page? And I would, get into it and, teach them, what different things I think about. Or when you're building a computer, why would you build a computer this way versus that way? So there's a lot of different things that I learned that I was passionate about, and I love to teach about it. So for the longest time, I was like, I want to do a course. I want to teach, because watching people on Lynda.com and learning from them, and I was like, this is not too hard. Like, after you look at all the tools that are required and what goes into creating a course, it's not that hard at all. You just have to, buckle down and do it. So 2019 is the year that I aim to create one course for myself.
Awesome. Yeah. Happy to help and guide you if you want.
Awesome.
Happy to do that.
Maybe a few courses. There's a webinar I watched of on Teachable, because I think they were pushing pretty hard back in November, or maybe it was October, and I watched some of the instructors, and this one instructor, she was like talking. She's like, yeah, I have like 50 courses on Teachable. I was like, 50 courses? He's like, yes, the more options you have, the more money you're gonna make. Like, well, That certainly does make sense.
50 courses.
Yeah, but she's like, I've been doing this for 4+ years, and she had only come on Teachable, about 18 months ago. So maybe it's like 2 years now. And she's like, yeah, I've got 50 courses on Teachable, and then the amount of money she made is like $2 million.
Whoa.
18 months. It's like, okay, that
Wow.
that's something to aim for, right?
Yeah.
And look at the blueprint of what she's doing and what we got to do, because it's like you don't always need to be on video
Correct.
for your courses.
Correct.
It could just be a voice and a PowerPoint, because you're getting knowledge across. Like, yeah, that's so true.
Yep.
And there's people on Udemy doing the exact same thing. I'm like, wow, it's just amazing. So hopefully I get to get there sometime. Start with one.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, Ariel, it was really awesome talking with you.
Same here, Junaid. It was great speaking with you. Enjoyed it. I enjoy your learning more about photography, videography. And kudos to you for starting your own business. That's awesome.
Thank you very much. We'll chat real soon. Talk to you
All
later.
right, take care.
Thank you for listening to Hacks and Hobbies. You can find additional information on the guest today on their website, hacksandhobbies.com. Please feel free to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out on upcoming interviews with amazing guests.